When I think about the early days of Levi Strauss's involvement with the AIDS crisis, I go back to 1982. The papers in San Francisco were filled with stories about a mysterious new disease. And a number of Levi Strauss employees wanted to distribute leaflets warning their co-workers about this deadly healthcare crisis that was going on in the city. They came to us as senior management and asked if they could distribute these leaflets in the atrium, and we said fine, and in fact we'll join you, which we did. But of course that caused us to realize we needed to learn more about this disease because it would affect all employees, both here in San Francisco and throughout the world.
As you know, in Africa, about 69% of people living with HIV and AIDS, really they are Africans. And 91% of those are African children. These are our brothers and sisters. We live in the same community. We go to church with them. We see funerals, every day.
HIV doesn't discriminate against any age, any race, status. People are sort of like, okay, well that's something that young people are involved in. No, it's something that affects all of us.
I think everybody is affected by HIV and AIDS one way or the other. You might not know people directly or indirectly that are affected by HIV and AIDS, but you can see how many people are suffering out there. You can see the pain and the hurt that it causes out there in our communities. I mean, it could be somebody that you work with, it could be somebody that you go to church with, people that you're sitting at a restaurant with, and you can see the pain. Or wherever we go, I think it affects everybody one way or the other.
I don't think you can be completely free and just hip and happening and just do whatever you please and lose control, because losing control once is, could impact your entire life. And again, if you live in a bubble and you don't see the repercussions firsthand, sometimes we think it's someone else's problem, like we do with most other things. Until it happens to you, you've got an opinion or no opinion, and you just sort of do your thing, and until you get caught with your pants down, I suppose, in this case.
To be quite honest, I felt that being a bit softer now. The message is still there, but it's almost like the real push and the real drive becoming a little bit watered down. So for me, from a personal point of view, it's to kind of just we need to keep fighting against this.
I don't think we're speaking enough about it anymore. There's so many myths out there. Conversations will make the difference. That will then create an environment with less stigma.
I think for as long as it lives in obscurity, we will have a problem. It needs to be out in the open because there's nothing wrong with having it. It's what you do once you have it, and then how you impact others to not contract it. And I think Levi's are doing a good job.
I became aware of it through working at Levi's, which is something I'm very grateful for. It's taught me and opened up and allowed me to educate myself, which I then am able to pass on to my children.
I have a 22-year-old daughter. As mothers, we need to be knowledgeable. So when they do ask a question, you don't just look at them and say, I don't know. So the concept of understanding and being kind and caring. So if one or two of their friends have this illness, they're not going to shun them. They're going to embrace them, because that's what my home is like.
I always ask my friends or family, have you been tested? Or would someone mind going with me to get tested? Because sometimes you feel like you don't want to do it alone, or you'd go with your partner, or so I do discuss it with them. And also just want to know what their view is on it as well. Because sometimes you don't really want to speak about it, or you feel scared to speak about it, or you have to kind of think before you speak about it, because it might hurt the next person's feelings, or you don't know what the next person's thinking.
I feel proud to be working for a company like Levi's, because the awareness it brings out to people, so that people know that it's not just a conversation that happens between you and the doctor, but this is a conversation that happens, even at work, and it's a safe environment to do so.
Levi's got some help that they offer, like if maybe you are damaged physically, emotionally, there's social workers that they can talk to you and help you with information.
HIV is related to wellness, and I think we all need to understand that the visions that we had in the past have gone. They've gone. Treatment is available. This is a disease that is like any other. It needs to be managed, and it needs People need to look after themselves and live healthily.
There are ways to deal with this, and that through communication and better knowledge, one is that much further down the line in order to resolve and help things.
So my message to people of the world, not only in South Africa, I will say, let's carry on supporting. The company is doing enough, but I believe there's always a room to grow. So let's try to support and bring them closer to the information. Because some people, they are HIV positive, they're scared to expose their status because they're not sure what's going to happen after.
We live in communities. We do business in our own community. And you cannot divorce business from the community in which we live.
A supportive and inclusive environment is important to promote. It's also really important that we remain inclusive in the way that we speak about it, that we don't speak about it as something that's happening to someone else, that we use language like it's about us doing something about this, it's about us sharing information, and create an environment that's open, loving, conducive and supportive for all of us.
Help each other along, support each other. HIV is not the end of the world. There are new tools available that are accessible.
It's around education, it's around furthering the message and passing on a positive word and giving people hope.
Get equipped with the knowledge and understanding of what we need to do in the workplace and even outside of the workplace.
Be kind, be loving, because it could be your kid.
You know, talking about and set the example, because all the change starts with all of us. It starts with you, so.
Doesn't matter you're HIV positive, you're HIV negative. As a human, let's take care and support those who need us. Not only when it comes to HIV.
Get equipped with the knowledge and understanding of what we need to do in the workplace and even outside of the workplace.
All of us are in this together, and so if you have a passion, stand up, express yourself, get others to join you, and we'll support you. Thank you.